The big fight clearly this last weekend was Volkanovski versus Lopes. That was the fight I really wanted to see because I really wanted to see if Volkanovski could pull it off. All-time great featherweight champion, one of the, for sure, greatest fighters of all time.
And Joe Rogan has reacted to Alexander Volkanovski's latest win. Suddenly, the conversation around Volkanovski has shifted significantly after everything he has been through over the past year. This fight was not just about having his hand raised. It was about reminding people exactly who he is, what he is capable of, and why writing him off too early was a mistake.
Good job for Volk. Like I said before, when you're fighting Volk, you're fighting his body, obviously, but his IQ was so high. Go out on top, baby. Go out on top. Go out on top.
I made it clear. Whoever's next is next, whoever deserves it.
Wow. I thought he was going to call it quits. Good for him. You go, old man Volk. The first round, Alex Volkanovski did shoot on Diego Lopes. When they both went back to the corner, the one thing that Diego Lopes said was that I have to respect this takedown. So boom, right there, Alex Volkanovski was beating him up on the feet, turning him, staying ahead of him. But then what does he do? He shoots a takedown just to throw it in his mind. Even though Alex Volkanovski did not succeed with that takedown, he put that check mark in Diego Lopes' mind that I have to respect the takedown. Once again, I felt this fight was too soon for Diego Lopes. He lost twice to the champion.
Volk look good, bro. Volk look good. He's just scary when he gets hit, you know? That's the only thing. What is that, the third round when he got hurt? It's kind of scary, but figuring it out, pushing through, bro. It's all love to him.
Oh, yeah! Let's go. Let's go. Squeeze, pop up. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Go for it. Hey, jump the ghillie. You gotta jump the ghillie. Oh, yeah. Oh! Popped him. Fuck. Yes. That's it. On top. Again, yes. Reshoot. I'm saying, like, Volk should finish him, but this guy's tough, man. Volk's gonna keep cracking him. Single. Nah. Volk knows the way. Volk knows the way. He's good, yeah. He's good. Front to back, exhibit, front to back. Death jam, front to back. Hit him with the front to back, exhibit. Yes. Clean.
He came into this fight with pressure on his shoulders, questions about wear and tear, questions about his hunger, and questions about whether the division had finally caught up to him. Instead of easing his way back, he delivered a composed and disciplined performance that silenced much of that noise. Joe Rogan highlighted how sharp Volkanovski looked from the opening exchanges: the footwork, the timing, and the ability to read his opponent and make adjustments on the fly. This was not reckless aggression. This was a veteran champion controlling the fight with fight IQ, patience, and experience.
But it's like bitter because I picked Lopes and I was wrong again in main events so far this year. But I thought this was a shit fight. Volk did his thing though on the outside that he normally does with his jab and his inside low kick and his movement, and waits for you to commit and then he cracks you with his rear hand. And he had a few moments throughout the fight where he would land that type of thing, and he was trying to muscle Diego around in some moments, but that's some way that Diego improved on. I thought he was less able to be just pinned against the cage in over-unders by Volk, and he kept distance a little bit better. But I did think this was a really close fight. I really did think this was a close fight. And at the end of the fight, when the decision was being called, I was like, let's see. Let's see who this goes to. Maybe I'm so off that it's unreal. But yeah, I thought Volk had a pretty good performance. The end of the fight is obviously very good for him, sitting on the face of Diego Lopes at the very end of things. Lopes, I think, broke his foot in the 5th round. He threw a body kick on Volk and took a really funny step afterwards, which obviously isn't the best. But he tried for an armbar here, but Volk reversed it. So Volk definitely cleared the 5th round with a dominant 5th. And got dominant position and landed all the better shots. But I thought the first 4 rounds were very close. I'll be honest with you. And I don't think this was domination. But I feel like I'm just being rage baited to like counter points that I shouldn't even have to counter. Like, this was a close fight and Volk crafted his way through it. and picked the right shots and the right openings and had good moments at the end of the rounds, like at round 1, sorry. He ended the round just kind of pushing Diego up against the cage, which was like a good moment for him. And he landed a couple low kicks, I guess, and some jabs that like hit Diego Lopes on the forehead. So that was crazy. I don't know how this got fighted tonight. This was a boring shit fight for 4 straight rounds. And the 5th, it got a bit of fun at the end. But I thought this was a boring shit fight.
Last week, I had a feeling that regardless of the result in Sydney, at 37 years of age, after achieving everything there is to achieve in the game and guaranteeing himself a place in the Hall of Fame, I thought that Alexander Volkanovski might just call time in front of his home people. What was I thinking? We are not dealing with a normal human being. The man's like the Benjamin Button of MMA. He's getting better. He's adding more chapters to this magnificent story. The greatest featherweight of all time. And it's an absolute joy to watch him. And from a purely selfish point of view, I want him to fight forever.
The fight itself told a clear story. Volkanovski managed distance brilliantly, picked his shots, and never allowed the fight to spiral into chaos. Whenever momentum threatened to shift, he shut it down. Whenever his opponent tried to build confidence, Volkanovski took it away. Was the kind of performance that does not always look flashy in highlights, but feels terrifying when you are standing across from it. And that is what Joe Rogan focused on. He pointed out that this is what makes Volkanovski so difficult to beat. He does not rely on one weapon, and he does not chase moments. Instead, he breaks opponents down mentally, round by round, until they are forced to fight his fight.
This fight and the first fight, how did it play out differently, and were you surprised at anything that happened in there tonight?
I guess not surprised. He did. We obviously the first fight, like I can get technical, I guess. Won't be facing him anytime soon, but like obviously I turned, as you will see, as I was circling, went to do that, and he learned to cut off straight away. But again, everyone's just like, oh yeah, he's got to learn to cut off. I said, okay, well, I'll just go the other way. You know what I mean? Or I'll do something else. So he ended up struggling a little bit going the other way. I did want to grapple more. I thought I could have, grabbed the hold of him. He felt pretty strong. I'm like, oh, okay, won't bother. Jumped the gilly for a bit of a laugh. Didn't work, but it was all good though. Yeah, like he's tough, man. He's tough, strong. If anything surprised me, it's probably strength. He seemed stronger this camp.
So I was going to ask you about that, because it seemed like some of those shots you got in, we got him really deep, and he was able to sort of shrug you off much easier than I thought. Not easier, but much better than I thought he was going to be able to. Was that the entire game plan, was to grapple and take him down and maybe land some ground and pound, or was it just you were going to find out in the moment?
I mean, we were going to find it out. Obviously, we wanted to take it down, and the idea was the main focus, take minimal damage. You know what I mean? 37-year-old man. I don't need to be taking damage. The first fight we had, I was in a lot of pain. I wanted to have a quick turnaround. I couldn't, because there's a lot of things, that I had to recover from in that fight. So it's all good. It was mate, just to go out there and do what I did. Was again at this age, 37 years old. Just to win, right, is an awesome feeling. And then to do it here in Sydney, not only that, to defend your belt at 37 here in Sydney in front of your family and friends, it's incredible.
For the MMA community took notice immediately. Fighters praised his discipline. Analysts noted that Volkanovski looked very much alive, and fans who had started questioning his longevity were suddenly forced to reconsider, so what is next? That is, where things get interesting. With this win, Volkanovski puts himself right back into the center of the title conversation, whether it is a high-stakes rematch, a fresh challenger, or another legacy-defining bout. One thing is clear, he is not here to fade quietly. Joe Rogan summed it up best when Volkanovski looks like this. He is still one of the most complete fighters in the sport, not just at featherweight, but in MMA as a whole. This was not just a comeback win, it was a statement. And moving forward, anyone looking at the featherweight picture now has to ask themselves one uncomfortable question.